Now we move over from there to Rwanda, Kigali to be precise, where leaders of the Commonwealth, of course, they met yesterday or 2 days ago. Now, leaders of the Commonwealth countries meet every 2 years for Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting hosted by different member countries on a rotating basis. Since 1971, a total of 24 meetings have been held. This year, the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting 2022 takes place in Kigali, Rwanda from 20th June and will last through till the 25th of June. The theme for this year is Delivering a Common Future, Connecting, Innovating, Transforming.
This theme highlights how the 54 member countries in the Commonwealth family are innovating, connecting and transforming to help achieve some of its biggest goals, like protecting natural resources and boosting trade.
Yesterday, of course, we had the opportunity of being joined by Isabella Akinshaye, who's a broadcast journalist and a Flourish Africa delegate for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting 2022. And she does have an update for us today from the meeting. Let's take a look.
Isabella Adediji, and I'm coming to you from Kigali, Rwanda, where the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting is currently taking place. As an entrepreneur, I'm always looking for opportunities to learn, relearn, and unlearn, and this definitely fits the bill. So when we came in on Tuesday for day one of the Commonwealth Business Forum, we're in the company of people young and old from 54 countries. I mean, just think about the networking potential. And I cast my mind back to that opening panel discussion it had President Kagame of Rwanda, His Excellency. It also had our very own Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, the president of the Africa Development Bank. And three things stood out for me. The first was the need to prioritize education, and I'm talking about equal opportunities for young boys and girls to get quality education. And even when we grow into adulthood, we need to look at capacity building to ensure that we are able to work in the future. I'm talking about jobs for the future, the training. The second thing that stood out to me from that first conversation was, of course, access to funding. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm young. I do not have 40 years of tax. But imagine having a bank that understands my needs as a young entrepreneur. So I was really excited when Dr. Akinwumi Adesina said he's creating, that's the AFDB is creating youth entrepreneurship investment banks, which will understand, our peculiarities as young entrepreneurs and guide us and ensure that we get the capital to grow our businesses. And the third thing was inclusion. I'm a woman, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm young, and we need to be not just in the room but at the table, not just when we're talking about women and youth, but at all levels. We need to be carried along, because let's face it, we are the majority, young people are the majority, and that means we are the future. So inclusion, inclusion, inclusion. Now, the first day, which was on Tuesday, I love the fact that we got to leave this lovely venue and we actually went to what is being dubbed as Africa's biggest entrepreneurship hub, and that's Norsken House Kigali. And I was just listening to some of the startup founders present and just listening to their ideas. I was really encouraged, and I started thinking about us back home. We have our hubs in Yaba, we have our Vibranium Valley, and the need for us to really have an innovation city where entrepreneurs, where startups can ideate, they can build, they can grow their organizations to solve our problems locally, and at the same time add value. And now day two, it's been interesting. I'm talking about healthcare and also looking at the need for digitization. So again, we got to go out of the premises, and this time we visited Babel. Now the interesting thing about Babel is that they are headquartered in the UK, United Kingdom, but here in Rwanda, they are adapting, their framework to ensure that digitized healthcare meets the needs of the Rwandese population. So they are paying attention to the epidemiology of the Rwandese population as well as the language. And I think it's really encouraging to see what is being done to make sure that healthcare, affordable healthcare, can get to everyone irrespective of their socioeconomic status. Now, what will I be taking away? I mean, I really enjoyed Kigali. I mean, the cool breeze, the beautiful scenery, the coffee. I do miss my pepper back home, but I'm really going to be going away with new connections. I'm going to be going away with a lot to think of, and obviously to position my business to a global audience. Indeed, it's about innovating, transforming, and like they've said throughout, is about putting the common back into the wealth. So
I like that way. That was a nice way to end it, putting the common back in the wealth. That's beautiful.
Absolutely. And it looks like she did have a lot of fun in Rwanda. Of course, the conversation continues. I like some of the things that she mentioned, which is, more interest in young people, investing in the young people, and of course, understanding that they also need some level of investment. So, like the AFDB president mentioned, they will be creating a bank, I believe, to enable more young people access funds to invest in your businesses. So it's pretty interesting, and looking forward to seeing what it brings.
Absolutely great content there, and I'd love to visit Rwanda. Hopefully, the next Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting will have Osalge and I attending there on behalf of Breakfast Central. So thank you very much, Isabella Adediji, for that brilliant report.